Hey, good morning. This is Ogle's Fish Room. How are we doing today? This is Thursday, and I'm going to give you something that I have promised forever, and that is a short video. I did one yesterday, and I did one last night of my tanks at night, and I just noticed this morning, I just fed all my fish, and I just noticed this morning that the Pristella tetras are starting to loosen up and come out and realize that I'm not going to go in there every day and chase them around like a wild man, because I had to do that to get them over here. They were in a smaller tank. I felt they needed more room, but as you can see with the amount of structure that I put in my tanks, I had to take everything out of this tank and the other one they were in to change these fish out. The white skirt tetras were in this tank, put them over in the 10 gallon, and these are in the 20 now. It was a lot of work, and I scared them to death, and they have not been coming out. Usually they come out for food and then they go right back into hiding behind all these things. Anyway, I'm going to just do a quickie of my tanks this morning. I'm really proud of what I've done here. Kind of changed it up a little bit when I redid it, rescaped it, and I want to say a few words about that as well. I know I sound like I'm bragging every time I talk about my tanks, but I do watch, excuse me, I do watch a lot of other videos, and there's several out there that are just fantastic. I enjoy watching them, but they're by people that are financially backed by these huge aquatic supply companies, and they literally have no limit to their budget. I remember watching one guy, I'm not going to mention any names, not trying to criticize anybody, anything like that, more power to him. I personally just want to do this for my own enjoyment. I'm not interested in making money off this. I just enjoy sharing, and I enjoy my hobby, and I want to share it with people that also just want to do that. I was watching one the other day, and it was planted absolutely beautifully. And finally, at the end, the guy says, "Well, this is gorgeous, you know, but, well, not but he said, I just want to clarify that there are over $800 worth of plants in this tank." And I'm thinking, holy cow, you know, that wasn't the rocks, that wasn't the wood, that wasn't the tank, that wasn't the soil, that wasn't anything else, just the plants that he put in there. And I thought to myself, holy cow, you know, what I could do if I had a budget like that as well. And so anyway, a lot of this stuff, these are artificial rocks here that I bought a gazillion years ago. These are the same but a little older and browner. It's got algae and stuff growing on them. And I do try to cover them up a little bit with wood and this, that, and the other. I do think they're gorgeous. Oh, that's attached. Oh, that's attached. It's a beautiful thing. But I happened to see these in a fish store the other day, and I thought I'd check on them. They were like $80, and I'm like, you have just got to be kidding me. I don't know. I could never afford to do that if I was doing it today. This is stuff I've been carrying, and if it's not being used, it's in buckets somewhere in the garage, and I've just had all this stuff for ages. When I first started buying these clumps of spiderwood, which is gorgeous, but at Pet Supermarket they were $7.49. I remember it like it was yesterday. I want to say they're twice that right now. They're like $14.95. Now this is just one piece here. This is a separate piece here. Okay, it does add up. You do need to boil these. These are small enough that I put them in a giant spaghetti cooking pan and boil them for 3 to 4 hours to get the tannic acid out, and also to saturate it to where you don't have to glue it down. That's another thing these guys do. If you watch those other videos, they don't do anything like that. They glue everything together, which I don't like. Well, I'm I'm not, again, not criticizing them. I'm saying for myself, I like to change things up. I like to be able to reach into a tank, pull this piece out here, and I reached into another tank and pulled this piece out here. Nothing is glued together because it seems like once you do that, there it is. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is yes, prices have gone up, but these things don't deteriorate. This is forever. This is, you know, even the real rocks, which I have in some of my other tanks, I've had, again, probably 30 or 40 years, literally, in buckets until I needed to use them. The point I'm trying to make is once you buy things like that, they're forever. Even the Anubius on these pieces of wood. This is one piece of wood. I've replanted or, you know, cut trimmings and stuck them in little crevices here. There's, you know, yes, I do things like that. I reattach as they grow. This is 3 different kinds of Anubius on this piece. But when I originally bought it, it was, I buy all the stuff like that at Pet Supermarket. It is actually cheaper, believe it or not, to buy these pieces of wood with the Anubius already attached. You can see the root system on that one in the back. This is another piece here. You see the root system that's been growing. These are $16.95 with the plants on them. Throw in an extra $1 for okay, 17 bucks, 18 with tax. Again, I'm not sure I've ever had an Anubius die. Okay, they grow. I trim them, put them on different pieces of wood. There's a separate piece in the back there, below that other one. I like to stack them up, make them look like it's one piece. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is you don't have to spend that kind of money. I mean, I'm talking like the $600 or $800 on the plants. I stick with 2 plants. Now, there are different types of Anubius, yes, but Anubius almost won't die. It's from Africa. It's in rivers that sometimes they're flooded, sometimes they're not. So they've had to adapt to growing outside of the water. They've had to adapt to growing under the water. They're a tough plant, and they are not designed to be in the soil. They're designed to have attached themselves to something like a piece of wood or a rock. So they're just tough. And if you bury the root system, or I shouldn't say the root system, this part can go in the ground. The part that you see above that, which is called the rhizome, or the stalk, if you will, cannot. It will deteriorate and die if it's in the underground. The roots can go underground. Okay, but they do just fine attached to something, and they feed off the water column. Okay, so all I'm saying is those and Java fern. This is a little group of Java fern that I simply super glue gel. It has to be gel, not the other kind. Super glue gel to a rock. See the little rock there. When pieces fall off or break off, or the bigger ones make babies, I put them in a little container, wait till I have enough, and then I sit down with a rock and glue them to the rock. And I can move that anywhere I want. As you can see, there's some autocinklus in here, and coolie loaches and shrimp. There's shrimp. Okay, I just want you to enjoy the hobby. This is the point. I'm sorry I'm not making a short video anymore. I apologize for that. But I just want you to enjoy your hobby. I want you to learn what works, what doesn't work. This is another plant I use that can go in the ground. That Java fern cannot. It has to be attached to something as well. Now this is these are Crips, and they are in the substrate, which in my tanks is nothing but sand. This is an Anubius attached to this structure here. Okay, I've just shoved it into a crevice, and it is growing. I've got one on the back side as well. But these can be in the ground, but they require light. And so they don't do it as well in my deeper tanks. In this tank, which is a 5-gallon, they're doing fantastic. Anyway, these almost won't die. They do require a good bit of light, but I just stick with the plants that, oh, is that the little girl trying to come out? There she is. I stick with the plants that work, okay? Anubius and Crips and Java fern. Well, she's kind of doing a little hiding. You've seen her before. Anyway, she's a big girl. She's a crown tail female. This is her tank. Okay, we're going to do this quick. Well, I'll stop talking. This is the bottom tank. It's a 15 high. It's got the zebradanios, coolie loaches, autosynclus. There's a bunch of coolie loaches there. I put them in. I don't normally like the zebradanios because they kind of make me crazy. Because this is what they do: back forth, back forth, back forth. Anyway, in this particular tank, because it's hard for me to see, it is almost on the ground, on a rack, but that it's serving the purpose, or they are serving my purpose, if you will, to simply put movement in that tank. That's all I'm trying to do, so it doesn't look like a lost tank down there. So anyway, this is just a bunch of wood with Anubius on it. You can see the root system there. Again, a piece with, okay, this is two different pieces of wood. There's one further in the back with the older looking leaves, and this is fairly newish here. That, again, $16, $17, okay, but it almost won't die, or it will last years and years and years and years if it does. But even if the top leaves die off, it's going to be producing small leaves at the bottom, and you can always trim that if you do it properly and continue with them somewhere else. There she is. She's the biggest female I have ever seen. She's just huge. See if we can get her to turn around. Hey, pretty girl. You're so pretty. See, I'm a oh, I got scared. I got scared. Look at that finish. Isn't that beautiful? Because she's a crown tail, those spikes give her a little more length in those fins than a normal female betta. And I think kind of contribute to her size. Okay, we're going to scoot over here. This is one of the new ones. He was out a little bit ago. Right now I don't see him, but I redid this tank. I'm going to stop talking and move along a little bit here. The shrimp are happy. I don't know where he is, but okay. Well, I moved a big piece of plant out of the back on this one, and I wanted to give her a little more swimming room. And I don't know if that's her in the back. It might be. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Little blue girl. Come on, sweetie. It's okay. It's okay. There I am. There's a pretty girl. She's blue. She's also a crown tail. Just got her a couple of days ago at PetSmart. They are only, the females are only $3.99. I mean, my goodness. How cheap can you get? Anyway, that's her tank. This is the guppy tank again. Because you've seen it before, I'm not going to take a lot of time. I'm absolutely thrilled that my 3 Russian blue male guppies are still kicking and seem to be doing extremely well. This is third one over, there he is. Third one over here. Babies galore. I am so tickled about that. It took me a while to see any of these fish make babies. Now we've got several generations. That's a baby too. He's just getting big, becoming a big boy. And, well, I lost him. There's a bunch of tiny ones in here. There's one with a black tail. There he is. Well, I'm sorry. They're all over the place. Okay, let me back up and just hold still for a minute. Let you see this. Okay, you can see that better now. I'm happy with the design of this tank. I do tweak these constantly. Why I say I don't glue anything together, other than the plants to the piece of rock or structure. but I don't like to glue the rocks together and make one big clump. Anyway, this is I keep wanting to call them scissor tails, but they're not. They're called Silvertips. A bunch of shrimp in there, a bunch of Silvertips. There's 9 Silvertips. Went out yesterday to 3 different pet stores and could not find any more of these. I was going to add to their number a little bit, but for some reason, I don't think the stores are ordering these anymore. I think when they had the Friday sale, this was on the list of things they're discontinuing. Might just not be a big seller. I personally think they're adorable, very pretty. I like the little bit of an orangey tinge they have to them, especially in the tail if you can catch it just right. And the white tips I think is just beautiful. Anyway, there are 9 in there. That's their tank. Mr. Orange Boy might not be coming out this morning. He's already been out and fed. Well, anyway, that's his tank. You've seen it before. Okay, we're going to go over here. This is a new little crown tail betta. She's kind of orangey and pink, or red, whatever you want to call that. The body's obviously lighter. She's got a little bit of black tipping on her scales on the side of her. It's very hard to see because it's tiny. Anyway, I kind of cleaned up her tank. I'm quite tickled with it. I'm also tickled with her. She's very pretty. Again, PetSmart, $3.99. Well, she's decided she didn't want to be on camera anymore. Okay, this is, we're not going to do the 75 today. We're just going to finish up with my column tanks over here. That's the full-size male crown tail. Blue body, bright red fins. Look at that. Oh my God, he's gorgeous. I've said this before. I didn't normally, when the crown tails came out, I just was not a fan. I thought they looked kind of sickly, looked like somebody had cut their fins with a razor blade. I didn't care for it at all. And most of them, even to this day, I don't care for. But this color combination, and he seems to have an awful lot of finnage, which I think is very pretty. And so that's his tank. It's a 10-gallon high, or column, I should say. There's the, wait, are you okay? Well, he was fine yesterday. Oh, there he is. See, I was seeping in the shell. I'm just seeping. He's purple. Isn't he gorgeous? Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Usually the coolie loaches are in that shell, but he's discovered it. Bettas do have a tendency to like little caves, and it usually seeps up in there like in a clump of leaves and just kind of cuddles up. He's thinking about going back in the shell. Pretty. Okay. We got the, okay, Calico Boy is out, so I've got to kill that snail when I get through here. There he is. Isn't he pretty? Isn't he pretty? Beautiful. He is from PetSmart as well. He is a split tail half moon male betta, $7.99 at PetSmart, which I think is a deal and a half. He has coolie loaches and auto sinkless, and that's his tank. Okay. We're going to finish with this. This is the white skirt tetras. They weren't quite as traumatized. They seem to have adapted to this tank and really like this tank, and have done well and haven't done any hiding since I moved them over. Redid this a little bit. There's a huge, I know it's hard for you to see, but it's touching up here. It's a huge piece of spider wood. It curls around there, goes underneath, holds this piece up, and goes back over here and holds this piece up, because this is 2 pieces of wood with Anubius on it. There's one at the top, there's one at the bottom. Let me back up and finish with this. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great day. Sorry if I was a little repetitive this morning. I'm sorry I talked so much. Take care. Ogle's Fish Room signing out. Thanks again. Bye-bye.